What's going on, everybody? My name is Greg, and this is Technically Speaking. So on occasion, we have a vendor that'll reach out to us that want us to review their product instead of the other way around. Makes for a really nice role reversal. Sometimes it doesn't really work out because what they want us to review doesn't really fit with what we do on our channel. And other times we're pleasantly surprised. We gain access to a product that we otherwise would not have even thought to check out, all because a vendor was nice enough to just send us a free sample. That's exactly what happened when a company called Lighting Ever reached out to us to ask if we would be interested in reviewing their RGB Smart LED floodlight. So this is the light itself. It is a 10 watt RGB LED light. You can pick one of these up on Amazon for about $23 US. As I was doing some research on the price, I found other lights that look exactly like this, iLux or whatever. They basically buy these from another vendor and they just rebadge them and resell them. This particular light has an all metal exterior construction on the back. It's really nice. It's hard to tell if it's aluminum. It's fairly lightweight. It's about 4.8 inches wide, 5.3 inches tall, and 1.3 inches thick. So it's a fairly small light. Again, this is a 10 watt light, so you're not gonna light up an entire room with it, but it should be enough to at least give you some type of highlights or throw a splash of color on a scene or something along those lines. It is IP65 rated. That means you could use this not only as an interior, but also an exterior light too. It's got a little swing arm on the back. You can attach a bolt here and then hang it off of whatever you want to, I guess. But again, so the construction is pretty solid on this thing, which is surprising given how cheap it is. Physically, you'll see on the front an array of 6 LEDs. Each individual LED is an RGB LED, meaning you will see 3 individual light elements per LED on there. Those RGB elements together all create the crazy number of colors that you can produce with this thing, which again, for it being an RGB LED floodlight, that's a whole combination of things that you don't typically see. Usually RGB goes hand in hand with enthusiast grade super nerd computers. So how difficult is it to actually use this? Aside from physically mounting this thing, which I never actually did, I attached it to a tripod. It's dirt simple to set up. Once you plug it in, you'll see the light itself will flash a handful of times just to let you know that it's in pairing mode. Now you'll have to go out to the iOS or Play Store to download the iLux mesh application. That will be the app that you use to control this whole thing. It'll search for devices. It begins the pairing process. You'll see the light flash a handful of more times just to let you know that the light has been successfully paired. And from here, you can actually manage pretty much everything about the light. If you swipe left and right on the light itself, you'll see that it raises and lowers the brightness. So the brightness is completely adjustable from 100% down to 0. You can also remotely power on and off the light itself. If you tap the light, you'll see that it takes you to a new screen where you can adjust the colors that it displays. Now there's a bunch of kind of preset colors that you can choose from that have interesting names like Glacier, which gives you a whole bunch of blues, or Sunset, which gives you a whole bunch of reds. And you can cycle through those as much as you want to. Or if you're looking for a little more customization, you can move over to the next tab and kind of choose your color from a color wheel. Or I guess if you're throwing some type of a party, you can go to the dynamic screen and it will flash through random colors or a handful of colors, whatever you want. So individual lighting controls, that's really it. You can rename the light if you should so choose, which doesn't really make sense until you look at some of the other features that the application has. There's a whole tab called Groups and Scenes, and under Groups is where you can take multiple lights and group them together. This is where it gets interesting. So you can actually take up to 50 of these lights and pair them all together and control them individually by groups. On top of that, you also have support for these things called scenes, where you could, again, you could choose a handful of lights to be lighting a particular scene. So maybe you've got the light set just right to light an outdoor scene. You could power on only those lights and power everything else off to just illuminate whatever scene it is that you're looking for. And that includes remembering brightness on top of the colors. Okay, so why were we even interested in reviewing a light? This is pretty far outside of what we normally do. Well, normally we would skip a light. However, because it is a smart light, it's Bluetooth controlled, it has an app, we figured we would at least give it a stab. And honestly, the lighting situation, at least in my studio, kind of sucks. So I thought maybe I would be able to use this for some studio lighting, at the very least, to kind of balance out some of the colors and stuff like that. Now, with this being a 10-watt light, that's not really gonna work in my studio. And another drawback or significant problem if you're gonna use this in any type of a professional application is the lack of consistency or specificity when you're trying to get a very particular color. And what I mean by that is, say you wanted to dial up exactly 5900 Kelvin for your light color, the temperature, the color of that light. That's not really something you can do with this. This is very much a kind of an art, and you're kind of guessing as far as what color you get. I found that when I was trying to do some shots against a particular product, that you more or less have to guess. You have to just kind of play with it until you see something that looks right and then go from there. So it's not very accurate. I doubt that the colors that it portrays back are super duper accurate, but for the price, and if you happen to be looking for some type of a smart controlled LED floodlight, check out the iLux RGB LED floodlight, which was sent to us by Lighting Ever. That's gonna do it for me for this week. If you like this stuff that we're doing, or if you wanna see us get bigger and crazier and do more content, like we say every week, if you haven't already done so, please, please, please don't forget to like, share, and especially subscribe. Again, we appreciate it very much, and we will talk to you all next time.